Hey everybody, it's Big Merc with Team Relinquish. I'm here with Mr. Johnny Cage. Sir, what do you do today?
I got in top 8 with Exosister today at our PS5 tourney today.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about your matchups or go straight into the deck profile?
Well, so my matchups today, it were Flunder, I did Tear, Sprite, Tear again, and then another Sprite where I lost in top cut too. So my only losses came to Sprite. Unfortunately, Sprite's a strong deck, but it competed very well today.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get into the deck profile now.
Okay, so how I did it today, of course, when you're playing Exosisters, you have to play the best starter. 3 Exosister Martha. It's mandatory in the deck. What it does is you're going to activate it in hand, special summon, second best card in your deck, monster-wise, Exosister Elise. So you do 3 Martha, 3 Elise. The reason you don't want to see Elise in hand because you want to special summon it out the deck with Martha, but you know it's still a nice extender to have if you do draw. Again, I'm going to be running 3 Exosister Stella. The reason I'm running Exosister Stella, a lot of times people, if you start out with your Exosister Martha and they're running Ash or anything like that, their first thought is, okay, let me Ash their Martha. You can normal summon your Stella and go ahead and activate its effect and special summon any Exosister monster from your hand. That way it allows you to keep comboing. Now, unlike what most people do, I play 2 Stella and I play 2 Irene. A lot of people, Sophia, excuse me, they play 2 Sophia, they play 2 Irene. The reason I'm playing 2 Sophia and 2 Irene is because a lot of times what most decks they like to do is go ahead and run 2 and 1. The reason I don't do that because I max out actually on our trap card that I'll get back into, Exosister Bodice, and you want to summon these 2 off of Bodice. So next, I continue on with the monsters. It'd be, you know, of course, 3 Ash. People don't respect Ash a lot of times. I'm pretty sure in my round 1 matchup against Flunderies, they went normal summon Rabina, and I went Ash, and that ended their turn. You know, so it was a swift 2-0. Luckily for me, in both games, I had the Ash, and, you know, they just had no answer for it. Obviously, the next best Exosister card is going to be Dimensional Shifter. Mandatory to play just because you don't care about your graveyard. Once the Exosister cards are gone, they're gone. But when you get into those big matchups against Tier, you want to be able to go ahead and shift through them. And it's basically a free win. Next, we're going to the spells. Of course, 3 Dark Ruler. You have to play Dark Ruler in my opinion. You have to. Exosister is gas, but when you come into some of these like locals and things like that, you don't want to run into that one deck, or you don't want to get you know, sat on a barrier statue and you can't play anymore. The only thing you could do is hopefully you have that Martha in hand and you can run over the barrier statue. But then again, Flunderies, they reoccur and they start doing things and you don't want to be left on that. Once you use normal summon Martha, it's kind of hard to get into anything else unless you're running like DD Crows or something crazy in your main deck. Next, 3 Exosister packs. Card is broken. Packs, you pay 8, feel great, very great. It searches any Exosister card within your deck. It's going to fix your hand. You have Martha plus any other Exosister monster is full combo. So if you have Martha in hand and you're able to resolve packs and just search maybe another one, you go Martha, special summon that, and the Elise go into your Xyz monster, detach, normal, special again. It just gets you into a lot of plays. A mandatory 3 of. Now, we own the 2 pots. The reason we running the 2 pots, again, you want to be able to dig for some of the cards that you need within Exosisters. Yeah, you can have that Martha. If you don't go first, my luck, I never really go first. You want to be able to go ahead and unbrick your hand. I usually first turn always go for 6, never 3, just because some of the cards that you'll see again when you're in their extra deck, they won't really matter to you until game 3. Next, the one-ups with the spells. One, Temple of the Kings. Now, a lot of people, they're going to be like, why are you running Temple of the Kings? It's when you get to your trap cards, Exorcist Sabatas, again, if you don't have that pot of prosperity to unbrick your hand, and you got that Temple of the Kings, and you got one of your Exorcist traps, this makes all your Exorcist traps on going first a one-card starter, and it's easy to switch out for game 2. So you activate your Temple of the Kings, you set Vadis, activate Vadis, and you automatically going to special summon what I would go Sophia and Irene. Effect of Sophia, draw 1 card, gain 800 life points, and I mean you're good to go with this card. You can exchange it for other things if you want, but like I said, I like the versatility to be able to play on that turn 1 if I draw my traps, because I am running 3 composed to where some of the other people are on 2 traps. And obviously, we hate back row decks. We want to dig, maybe get that Duster. We got a pretty bad matchup against Sprite. Maybe if they got the double cross and the Smasher set, you want to go ahead and try to bait one of their negates out. If they're on Toad or anything, Harpy's a good card. Sorry for it being gold. I had to borrow it very quickly. Next, we're going to go into our trap lineup. Right? We're running Exosister cards, 3 Exosister Vadis. You pay 8, feel great again. You resolve this card, you're gonna win. I'm telling you. And especially when you're playing against your tier matchups. When you're going against tier, they mill a name, they activate that name in the graveyard. You chain Vadis, pay 8, special summon 2. When they shuffle those cards back, they move the graveyard from their own accord, move the card from the graveyard, and then it's going to trigger the monsters that you just summoned. That's definitely how I got my round 5 victory against Couch. He went effect. I chained Vadis, summoned our Dweller, Asophiel, and that was pretty much game. So that's why I'm saying running that 3 of, and you get it with Temple of the Kings, you're golden, man. Next, we're running 2 Exosister Returnia. Returnia, what it does is you pay 8, you target 1 card on the field, you can banish it. Now, if you have 2 Exosystem monsters, which you a lot of times what I like to do is go ahead and activate Returnia, then chain Vadis. You're going to activate Returnia, target whatever card you need to get rid of whatever the problem card is. You chain Vadis to special summon 2. So at resolution, Exosister Returnia has 2 effects. One, if a monster was exceed summoned this turn that you had, you can banish another card. Or the second one, if you have 2 monsters on the field, you could go ahead and exceed for an Exorcist monster on the field. So you do that, chain Vadis, summon your 2, banish 1, and a lot of times just go straight into another banish with your Michaelis. Three Imperm don't really need an explanation. Imperm, best trap, best hand trap. You need it. If you can run it, play it. I advise it in any deck. I don't make a deck without Imperm. And probably the biggest sauce within the deck, main deck evenly. Main deck evenly is strong. A lot of people do not see it coming. Again, you already see that we're on the 3 main deck Dark Rulers. You go ahead, Dark Ruler there, they're bored, they build a big unbreakable board. You laugh, you go Dark Ruler, you go to battle phase, you go evenly. And if your hand is just as broken, you go into your pot or anything like that, you dig for your Martha, go full combo, and you can end on, crack. Next, I move to the extra deck. So, of course, best extra deck monster, Exosister Michaelis. What you want to do is when you summon it, a lot of times people don't understand the card and they don't Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read. So Michaelis has 2 effects. It has the quick effect banish on the turn that it's summoned, and then it also has to search for an Exosystem spell or trap. So a lot of times on summon, you go ahead and search for that spell or trap detached for cost, and then they try to chain anything Imperm, one of their monsters, and you go ahead and change your second effect, and you're going to banish whatever they're trying to do. If there's field spells or anything like that, that's how you really get them. You never start off or lead with your banish effect. You always lead with your search. That way you can chain your banish and still have it. Next, We're going to be on 2 Exosister Caspatel. Caspatel on summon, it is going to lock either player from special summoning out of the graveyard. That's an effect. Luckily, a lot of people, they don't usually try to negate this card, but what it's going to do is, while it's a 2 of, it gets you into your Martha as well for follow-up. So you go ahead and start your play, search for your other Martha if you have your, go ahead and have your extenders in hand. Search for Martha for next turn just in case your board gets broken.
I'm only going to run 1 independent.
I am on
Cycles of stuff.
2 Exosister Astrofield. Reason I'm running 2 is just strictly because of tier. They do anything weird. A lot of people been using unicorn and things over here in our locals, so you don't want them to dig into your extra deck and go ahead and banish that 1 of. So definitely feel like you could use 2, especially with the way that the meta is with tier running
I
around.
need 2 rights and the deck's pretty much done.
We have
No,
our boss monster
just to fill out the deck.
running 2 Magnifica. Magnifica takes our 2 rank 4 Exceeds monsters, go ahead and Exceeds into it. Big body. You can chain to the effects to tag out, and it also has that quick effect banish. Really good card. The card you always want to end on. People can a lot of times they try to go ahead and start off in Imperm, go ahead and chain to your Imperm, tag out some of your Michaelis, you still got to banish. So, you know, card has to be respected. It has to be. The 1 Jabrin, this is for game. A lot of times I try not to banish it if I know I can get game the next turn, but it's still a 1 of in the deck that you need to run. It's a quick effect, a negate on the turn that it summons. Sometimes it can get you out of a pinch, and if you can negate their Rabina or anything like that they're playing, it's very good. So at least 1 of, not mandatory that you run 2 or 3. If you fail 2, I wouldn't do it, but 1 of most definitely for game. Oh, quick! I actually gained. I won 2. I won twice off of gaming people with this. Now I won oh, excuse me. Of course, Draco package. You can do it. Why not? You know, most of the time it's just fodder for your pot of prosperities. 1 Dweller, because we don't like tier. We can go into it. Be careful not to lead with your Martha. Martha will lock you out of all cards except for Exosister, so you want to lead with your other cards if you have the combo in hand to go ahead and go into Dweller. A lot of times I banish it off of our Pot of Prosperity still, just because we have our own in-archetype Dweller. 1 Cowboy for game. I did not cowboy anybody, but you have to prep for game, man. You just got to. Last regional I played, I lost in time twice when I had the hand to win. So 1 Cowboy for game. And obviously the 1 Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus. Very good card.
Why only 1?
We only running 1 again a lot of times because Martha is going to lock you out of summoning Zeus on the turn. So usually it's follow-up. A lot of times it's still, if I have that pot, I'm banishing Zeus. It's usually just a follow-up play, but Martha locks you out of everything except for Exosister, so sometimes that's why I'm only doing that 1 Zeus.
Okay.
Extra deck does get pretty tight. Some of the things you could cut, maybe the Dweller or anything because you have your own archetype one, but again, you just want to have options. Now, for the side deck, 3 Droll. We all know what Droll do, man. They search 1 time, you in their turn. You know, it's good. It's going to be good against your Flunderies matchup. They search 1, they normal summon, do their Flunderies things, and it's pretty much done. It's also good against Sprite, which is probably going to be this deck's worst matchup. They go ahead and special summon blue search, and you go ahead and chain your Droll and Lockbird. They're pretty much done with all the searching. They're not going to get that ad off a jet or anything like that. So again, I would always run this in the side. I thought about maining it, but it kind of counteracts with the shifter. So I ran it. I did not see it today, unfortunately, but it's still a good card and an option to have. 3 Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansions. Tier hate. They start moving things from the graveyard. but I still hate a lot of people. Just about every game that I played on end phase, they start basting my Martha, you know, things like that, just because they know if I go first on my end phase, I can't respond to it even with my traps. So you want to have these going game 2 and 3 just to try to stop all of that nonsense in the graveyard. I know you want to be able your opponent to be able to move things from the graveyard, but if you can use this and just bait out one of their effects and then chain your Exosister cards, it's even better. Three rocks. People do not respect Nib, but it's a good card. Honestly, I probably would trade it out right now the way that the format's looking. It's getting ready to change with Photon Hypernova coming out, and it'll be good against Cash Terror. Right now, it was pretty much a filler. I never sided it in for any of my matches. You send Tears to the grave, they start doing more things. By the time you're able to nib against anything with Sprite, you can't do it because they're locked. And they also lock you from special summoning as well. Overall, good card. It beats those off meta cards. You can catch flu with it, so just keep it in mind. Again, I'm tired of losing in time. I'm tired of losing in time. Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Just strictly for time. You go into that game 3. You just want to have something to try to get the win. Unfortunately, I don't like the time rules, but it is a win con, so we got to stick with that. And last but not least, we on 3 Raigeki. Raigeki is cracked this format, man. There's no spell and trap negates. So you just free reign, and 3 Raigeki is insane. They make these big boards. You go Raigeki. Don't let you draw 2 of them. They fix their board again. Tear right on your turn. You go Raigeki again. They're done. You start playing, especially with your Exosisters, man. So good card to have. I wouldn't take it out right now that the way the format's looking. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so do you have any shoutouts or anything you want to do?
Yeah, man. I want to shout out Legendary Phoenix Games, man. I want to shout out Austin for putting on this tournament. It was very good. We did better. Hopefully, I wanted to win that PS5, but it was a good. It kind of overperformed more than I thought it was. Naturally, a runic player. Try to mill him out, but very good matchup against what's running around today, the Flunder, the Tear. But mainly what you want to try to do is probably side and try to get something for the matchup against that Sprite deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This is Vic Merck signing off. I hope everybody has a nice day.